There are Mississippians applying for health insurance that may not qualify for a program. However, we all know it is important for families to have health insurance. This is why Healthy Kids Mississippi has been working with our state's federally qualified community health centers, or FQCHC, to help our fellow citizens find a medical home. Our organization is focused on raising public awareness about health coverage options for children and their parents through the Medicaid and Children's Health Insurance Program, or CHIP, in the state of Mississippi. Our process is simple. Our organization's assisters seek out Mississippians. Once our assisters gather the necessary information from the consumer, they apply for insurance programs on behalf of them when consent is given. When the application process is complete, the applicant will find out by mail if their application has been approved. We want to help as many families in Mississippi as we can. To learn more about our organization, please visit us on our website, healthykidsms.org, or give us a call at 662-298-3584. We welcome you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening once again. Welcome to this month's webinar of the Ask Mary and Pat Show, featuring Ms. Mary Fenner and Ms. Pat Boga. Again, my name is Thomas Robertson, but everyone just calls me Duke. I am the Technology and Metrics Director for Oak Hill Regional Community Development Corporation, which is the parent corporation of Healthy Kids Mississippi. We recognize our board chair, Jennifer Garrett, our executive director, Dr. Michael O'Miner, and our project director, Mrs. Lottie Miner. In addition to this Zoom cast, we are restreaming this evening's webinar on our Oak Hill Regional, CDC, and Healthy Kids Mississippi Facebook pages. Please feel free to like and share on our social media pages and share to your pages as well. Also, if you have any questions or comments that you would like to be answered on this live broadcast, please ask away in the chat if you're on Zoom, or on the Facebook comments if you're on Facebook. And we will try our best to respond back to each question. I want to remind everyone the Mary and Pat webinar show is always the last Monday in the month. So the next show will be July 25th at 6 p.m. Once again, that is July 25th at 6 p.m. Now I'm going to turn it over to our amazing host who will be able to take it from here, Ms. Mary Fenner and Ms. Pat Boga. You guys can take it away.
Hi, my name is Mary Fenner. I'm a Medicaid assister with Healthy Kids Mississippi.
And I am Pat Boga. I'm also a Medicaid assistant with Healthy Kids Mississippi, and we're honored to have you join us on tonight. We do have a few questions lined up, and we encourage you, if you have a question, just add it to the chat, and we will do our best to answer for you. So I guess I'll go first. Okay, I have a question here. How long will the infant formula shortage last? Well, actually, there's no definite answer to that question, but on May 16th, the FDA and Abbott Nutrition reached an agreement to restart the production of the formula at the Michigan facility, which should ease the shortage, okay? It could take 6 to 8 weeks after the start of the production before the newly produced formula hits the stores and this comes from Dr. Swanson.
Okay, the next question we have is the recall still in effect? As of May 13th, the recall was still in effect. The FDA is warning against mothers using recall infant formula. So it still isn't in effect, even though they did have a short time where they were able to give out some milk. And I'm thinking that they're doing some things now with assisting people with it, but the recall. So if you have any recall formula, please don't use it.
Right. Okay. We have another question. Why was the formula under recall and shortage? I guess our consumer just wants to know why did this happen anyway? Okay, and the answer is bacteria was found in the formula and some babies got sick after drinking the milk. In February 2022, Abbott Nutrition recalled these brands of formula. There were several brands, and that was Similac, Alimentum, and Elecare. And this led to a nationwide shortage of formula thereafter. Also, the manufacturing company in southwestern Michigan was affected by severe thunderstorms a few weeks ago, and that caused flooding of parts of the city and also parts of that company. And this caused a shutdown because the flooding created contamination. The supply chain issues from the pandemic also contributed to this shortage.
Okay. We have another question. What can I feed my baby if I can't find any of the formula she drinks or any formula? So what's been highly recommended is that you breastfeed. That is the best choice that you can make. And if you have trouble with the baby latching on, then they ask that you can do a pump. You can pump your own milk and store it that way, put it in the bottle and feed your baby like that. Mm-hmm. The Biden administration has promised that they are working with companies overseas to get formula flown over to the U.S. There are also social media groups that assist with finding infant formula for mothers. So make sure you check for these groups and check your local stores doing shipping times and days for the formula.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can babies drink evaporated milk? Now, we know back in the day, our parents did, feed us that evaporated milk. They mixed it with water, but there were some risks. And of course, this is not recommended. Do not use powdered cow milk, evaporated milk, or raw milk and sugar. A lot of people think that they can just add some sugar and everything will be okay. Babies under 1 year old should not be fed cow milk or other plant-based milks, such as soy or almond milk. And if you cannot find the formula that your baby uses after 6 months of age, after your baby has reached 6 months, check with your pediatrician for recommendations and to see if it's okay to use the cow milk as a short-term option, okay? It is normally allowable after a child has reached 1 year old, but do not use formula from other countries. Now do not use the formulas from other countries that have not been reviewed and approved by the FDA though, okay?
Okay. Another question is, how long can I breastfeed my baby? It's been revealed that women breastfeed for up to 6 years of age. So you can do it up to the age of 6.
And I think there's some that are pretty close to that. Let me see, what else do we have? There's another question, okay? Can I add extra water to my baby's formula to make it stretch? That answer is no. It should never be done. Adding extra water to formula is not recommended. It can dilute the levels of proteins and nutrients and can also lead to low sodium levels in the blood as well as other disorders. So that's a no-no.
Okay. Can I make my own baby formula? I've seen recipes online. The answer to that is no. You should never do this. Make your own baby formula. This can cause a form of contamination. This can cause serious safety and health concern. Your baby's nutritional needs are very specific, especially in the first year of life. Homemade formula can contain either too little or too much minerals and vitamins like iron. It is also easy in the kitchen for things to become contaminated, especially with utensils. Your baby can get sick quickly. So using homemade formulas is a no.
Right. Okay, we have another question. Can I buy toddler formula and give it to my 3-month-old baby? And the answer to that question is no. This is definitely not recommended. And of course, to find out more about this and other, if you may have any issues or questions about the infant formula and the do's and don'ts, you may visit the website www.hhs.gov/formula. And there's some very valuable information there.
Okay, that's another question out here. How soon can I give my baby solid foods to stretch the formula due to the shortage? It has been recommended that you wait until your child is at least 6 months, maybe 4 months. But always check with your pediatrician, your family doctor, or WIC clinic if there's one in your area. Another option is if you breastfeed and use formula, try to shift more of your baby's diet to breast milk. So if you have formula that is not a part of the recall, then you can try to do both, and that way you can stretch out the formula, breastfeed, then do formula. So. Also, the president and agencies of the United States government are working around the clock to correct the formula shortage and to get milk back on the shelves quickly. So they are working on it.
And one of the things you really have to be careful with, and we know that there is truly a shortage, but at the same time, if you remember during the time when there was a shortage and Lysol and the other disinfectants, we noticed that people were going to the stores and just, I would say just hoarding. And the same thing I believe is taking place with the milk. People are afraid that they're not going to be able to have it when they need it. And then you've got some people that are buying it and selling it. They're, what do you call it? Price gouging?
Gouging.
Yes. So be careful with that. Okay.
Okay, I have another question for dealing with the baby formula before we switch topics. Can you use different types of formula? If your baby was on one formula, can you use another type? And they're saying most babies can tolerate using another brand of formula.
Right.
So if you have another, if your baby wasn't on one brand and there's another brand available, it says try slowly introducing a new formula in small amounts by mixing it with your formula and see if they could tolerate it, and they might be able to tolerate.
Yeah, so there are a lot of things. Now, we know that we aren't doctors, we aren't nurses, but the information that we provide to you, it comes from hhs.gov/formula. And so this is a very reliable source. And we know that a lot of the parents, we receive questions, and we know that a lot of parents are concerned about this because, of course, Sister Finna, we've heard a lot about people wanting to make their own formula. And I don't think I would try that, but, it's definitely not recommended because, even if you're mixing a formula and if you have it on the stove, you could overcook it, just like the average cook, some they cook on high, they cook too fast. But one of the things that is definitely not recommended to do that, because even in the kitchen, you have a lot of different utensils around the stove and your counter area, and you just have to be very careful with that. So it's recommended that you don't do that. So again, we want to refer you to that website, www.hhs.gov/formula, and there you will find a lot of updates. You can keep up with updates as far as, and it's also been noted that the president and the Biden administration, they are working on flying in a lot of the formulas from another country. And so they're really just trying to encourage people not to worry. If, I know that's hard to do because we've noted that in some cases, we've heard that some babies were sent to the hospital because, they didn't have the formula. And it was probably a case where someone was trying to stretch it by maybe even adding water. And that's not good. So, as Sister Finner said, we're going to switch subjects right now. There is a question. Okay. How much longer will my family and I have COVID-19 Medicaid through the public health emergency? Okay. Now we've been getting a lot of questions on that because we've actually heard from some consumers wanting to know why they're on COVID Medicaid. I don't want COVID Medicaid, I want regular Medicaid. But in most cases, that's because either your one of your children has aged out, or the income may be over the income limit. And so to keep you from not having any coverage, you've been awarded the COVID-19 Medicaid. So the answer to that, and I read this according to the MHE publication of June 2022, the public health emergency may end in the upcoming weeks or even months. And because, and the reason for that is, the COVID numbers, or, in some areas, they're actually dropping. So that is why they're going to consider, going ahead and letting, releasing the public health emergency. So when it does, we're expecting some 14 million Medicaid members who enrolled after the public health emergency to begin, when it began in February 22, 2020. And we're expecting somewhere around 14 million Medicaid members to lose coverage. They may possibly lose their health insurance through Medicaid. And many Medicaid beneficiaries who gained coverage during the public health emergency may be able to enroll in plans through the ACA marketplace. Okay. Sister Fenner, can you just tell them a little bit more about that? So they may not have too much to worry about, even if their children's, if they've aged out over the age of 19. Now, they're probably still on the COVID-19 Medicaid, but they can possibly qualify for the ACA.
Right. If you no longer, whenever the public health emergency ends and you're over the age of 19 and you're otherwise not eligible, like you don't have any children in the household that's eligible for Medicaid, or they don't have to be eligible. But if you have children in the household and you're not working, you can still be eligible for Medicaid. But if you are working and low income, you may be eligible to apply for ACA, and it don't necessarily have to be low income. You can apply even with higher income.
Mm-hmm.
You still may be eligible for the ACA program. And once you receive that letter stating that your Medicaid, COVID-19 Medicaid has ended, you can immediately apply for insurance, health insurance through the ACA program. That's even, and because it's happening, may not be during a time of enrollment. We have special enrollment periods that you may be eligible to apply. Anytime your insurance ends, anytime you change jobs and you no longer have insurance, you can apply for ACA. So that's another option. And we at Oak Hill, we also take applications and help people to enroll in the ACA program. So you can always give us a call if you need any type of health insurance information, if you need to know if you're not eligible for any program and you need to know where you can go for to the doctor for health reasons, we can refer you to other places to go. It may not necessarily be ACA if you're not eligible, but we can also refer you to the federal qualified medical health centers that take you based on income, and you may not have to pay a whole lot to go there. So we have places or things that we can help you with, and we will try to help you to the utmost. We have other people that works with us that specializes in helping people get the needs, medical needs, needs with your medicine, with doctors, right, specialists. So if you need any type of assistance, you can give us a call, 662-298-3584, and that's Oak Hill Regional Development Corporation. So give us a call with any type of question. We're there to help.
Right. Because they are federally qualified community health centers throughout the state of Mississippi. And all you have to do is, you can contact Oak Hill Regional Community Development Center, as Sister Fenner said, for assistance if you don't qualify for Medicaid, or even if you don't qualify for affordable health care insurance. They will assist with medications and other assisting you with finding providers that will give you sliding fee assistance and even discounts on your medicines.
Right. So there is another question here. My children are covered under Medicaid, and I haven't had to renew their Medicaid in over 3 years. I have family members that have had to renew their Medicaid yearly. Why is that? Well, it depends on the office. Some offices are doing renewals now. Some offices are holding on to the COVID-19, or they're letting, even if it's not the COVID-19 Medicaid, they're letting the renewals roll over, especially the larger offices, because they have a lot to do. So so they're letting renewals roll over. If you're not sure whether it's time for a renewal or not, you can contact us. We can try to help you get that information, or contact your local office and see if they can help you with finding out when your renewal is. But if you are really concerned because you don't want to go to the doctor or take your child to the doctor and they don't have Medicaid. So if you haven't heard from them in over a year, it's best to try to contact them to get updated information. Also, you need to make sure they have your correct information, such as if you move, your new address, a current phone number where you can be reached. Make sure they have that information and see if it's time. When is your renewal time? Some people don't like to do it because they feel like, well, we're bringing attention to us and all of that, but it's important. It's really important for them to have that correct information so that they can get in touch with you if it's necessary.
Right. And if you miss that letter, if they send you that letter, and we can't stress that enough, watch your mail. Be on the lookout for a letter, because actually, as far as the renewals, as well as the public health emergency, or the end of the public health emergency, they're going to send you a letter. And if you don't respond within a certain length of time, now your case is just going to be closed, and you definitely don't want to go find your way at a doctor's office with a sick child to find out that you no longer have Medicaid or CHIP. There's a question, and I've been mentioning this throughout the segment. Is there a website that I can check for updates on the infant formula shortage? Okay, yes, there is. And again, that is hhs.gov/formula. There's some valuable information there, as well as you'll find some the updates on the shortage, and they'll let you, well, anything you need to know, and it'll even inform you, let you know that as far as the risk of trying to make baby formula yourself, the risk of switching formulas, or even to inform you, basically just letting you know to contact your pediatrician, your family physician, or in some parts of the state, the WIC clinics have closed. And right now, a lot of counties are issuing WIC cards, but make sure that you contact your child's pediatrician to find out any information you need, or visit this website. Again, it's hhs.gov/formula. Do we have a question?
We have a question in the chat.
Okay.
How long should I wait before I contact the Medicaid office because I haven't received a letter? if you haven't received a letter, you can contact them right away if you feel
Right.
like it's time for a renewal. And even if you call and they say, well, we'll roll your child's Medicaid or your Medicaid over, that's fine too. Just make sure that they have your updated information, like your new address or your address and also phone number. So in case they try to send out a letter and in the future, and if they can't get in touch with you, if that letter goes back, because they do not forward your mail, it goes back to the main facility in Jackson, and they compile a list and they send it to each office and saying, well, this person's mail came back, so that person needs to be cut off and their family. So that's how that works. So just make sure that if you moved within the last couple of years and you haven't heard anything from them, you need to contact them and check and see which address they do have for you, to see if they have the correct address for you. Maybe something happened and digits got mixed up or something like that, and they don't have your correct address. So it's best to call and see so that they can have your correct address.
And again, don't just assume because you haven't received the letter. Don't just assume, and especially if you have an idea when your renewal is normally due. Don't just assume that everything is okay because you haven't received the letter, because it could have gotten. Again, we stress that making sure that you keep your mailing address updated with the Medicaid office, because if that letter comes to your box, well, actually, if you have moved and the letter is sent out, they're not gonna forward it to you to your forwarding address. They're gonna send it back to the Medicaid office.
Yeah, even if you have put in a forwarding address with the mail, with the post office, they're still not going to forward it. They're going to send it back. So.
Right. Well, we thank each and every one of you for joining us on tonight. And of course, we are on Facebook Live. So the Ask Mary and Pat will still be on the Facebook page. So make sure that you share it with your family and friends, because these are questions we have received on tonight, as well as over the last couple of weeks ago, the people having concerns about the infant formula shortage. And I know I have nieces and great nieces and great nephews that are using formula, and oftentimes their parents, they contact us, even the family, and asking us if we know where they can find this formula, because I'm almost out, or I've got one more can to go, So be sure to refer them to Ask Mary and Pat so they can go back and watch it, and this will be very helpful.
Right. And also we want to let you guys know that every third Wednesday of the month, we have a parent resource chat. And the next one, actually, I believe is going to be July 20th. And it's every third Wednesday. And it's dealing with a number of issues or questions that people may have. And they have people that come on that specialize in those different areas. This month in June, we had someone that came on to talk about men's health. And so it's not just about Medicaid, it's about different interests that people may have concerning anything in your life, such as mental health issues. I'm not sure what the next one would be about, but I think it's back to school. Right. So our next one is going to be about concerning back to school. And it should be the third Wednesday in July, which will be July 20th, I believe. That's the next one. So you can watch out for our Facebook page and It'll be information on there about our third Wednesday parent resource chat.
Right.
That's what it's called.
Okay.
And it's on Facebook Live for Healthy Kids Mississippi third Wednesday parent resource chat.
And again, we want to let you know that Sister Finner and myself, we are navigators. So if you have children that have aged out, they have turned 19, and they're not on the COVID Medicaid. They're completely off Medicaid. That we can assist them by helping them to apply for affordable health care insurance. And we just recently completed an application. This young man is in college, but his parents are still responsible for him, you know. So we were able to get him enrolled in affordable health care insurance, and that took a big relief off the parents, because we were told that this child actually plays football in college, and she didn't find out that his Medicaid was off until she took him to the doctor with a football injury. So, you have any other questions? Is there anything that we need to go over that we've talked about, those that are in attendance? If you have any concerns about what we've gone over, just let us know. And okay, no other questions, but we do want to let you know again that Ask Mary and Pat is featured every, well, it's the last Monday of each month. So the next Ask Mary and Pat, that is going to be on July the 25th, I believe. Let me confirm that date.
Yes, it's July 25th.
Okay. July
It's
the
always the
25th.
last Monday of each month.
Okay, at 6:00 p.m. And we thank you. And again, we just want to make sure that you share this week's Ask Mary and Pat with your family and friends, or your coworkers, or your neighbors. So we appreciate you so much for tuning in.
We do.
And Sister Finner, do you have any last words?
No, I do not.
Okay. Okay,
And I
again.
don't see anything else.
Okay. Our next Ask Mary and Pat show again will be July the 25th at 6:00 p.m. You may learn more about us at www.oakhillregionalcdc.com and www.healthykidsmississippi.org. You may contact us at 662-298-3584 or text us at 662-689-9712. And of course, once again, we acknowledge our board chair, Jennifer Garrett, our executive director, Dr. Michael O. Minor, and our project director, Mrs. Lottie Minor. And this has been a production of Oak Hill Regional Community Development Corporation, belonging, building, bridging in the Mid-South region and across the state of Mississippi.
All right, good evening, everyone. Have a good evening.
Our technical director, Duke, are you there?
Duke, are we off live?
I just sent. Okay. Duke, are we off Facebook Live yet? We want to thank you all for your comments as well. We appreciate your support. Thank you all for your comments as well. We appreciate your support.
Looks like we're still on live. Looks like we're still on live.
Duke?
I'm gonna have to step away for a moment.
Okay. We want to encourage you as well to submit your questions. You can go to our, well, right now, if you will, you can go to our chat and you can post any subjects that you may want us to, we will research and answer questions for our next segment. So we appreciate that. If you will, you can go ahead and put those in the chat now, or you may contact us by texting the number I previously gave you. And of course, that number is 662-689-9712. And just put any subjects of interest that you may have so we can tackle that issue next time. By texting the number I previously gave you, and of course the number 662-689 of interest that you may have.
Okay.
Are we still on Facebook Live?
I guess since we're still on live until Duke comes back, does anyone have any questions or concerns?